Hello and welcome to my op.ca's channel. Today we're exploring MyOp's top 5 non-politicians who could or should be running Canada or the United States. Over the next few minutes we'll introduce you to some fascinating individuals who have made significant impacts in their respective fields. Number 1. Ben Shapiro. Benjamin Aaron Shapiro, born January 15, 1984, is an American conservative political commentator, media host and attorney. He writes columns for Creators Syndicate, Newsweek and Army magazine, and serves as editor emeritus for the Daily Wire, which he co-founded in 2015. Shapiro is the host of The Ben Shapiro Show, a daily political podcast and live radio show. He was editor-at-large of Breitbart News from 2012 until his resignation in 2016. Shapiro has also authored 16 non-fiction books. Number 2. Dr. Jordan Peterson for Prime Minister of Canada. Jordan Burnt Peterson, born 12th June 1962, is a Canadian psychologist, author and media commentator. He began to receive widespread attention in the late 2010s for his views on cultural and political issues. Often characterized as conservative, Peterson has described himself as a classic British liberal and a traditionalist. Born and raised in Alberta, he obtained 2 bachelor's degrees in political science and psychology from the University of Alberta and a PhD in clinical psychology from McGill University. After researching and teaching at Harvard University, he returned to Canada in 1998 and became a professor of psychology at the University of Toronto. In 1999, he published his first book, Maps of Meaning: The Architecture of Belief, which became the basis for many of his subsequent lectures. The book combined psychology, mythology, religion, literature, philosophy, and neuroscience to analyze systems of belief and meaning. In 2016, Peterson released a series of YouTube videos criticizing a Canadian law, Bill C-16, that prohibited discrimination against gender identity and expression. Peterson argued that the bill would make the use of certain gender pronouns compelled speech and related this argument to a general critique of political correctness and identity politics, receiving significant media coverage and attracting both support and criticism. In 2018, he paused both his clinical practice and teaching duties and published his second book, 12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos. Promoted with a world tour, it became a bestseller in several countries. In 2019 and 2020, Peterson suffered health problems related to benzodiazepine dependence. In 2021, he published his third book, Beyond Order: 12 More Rules for Life, resigned from the University of Toronto, and returned to podcasting. In 2022, Peterson signed a content distribution deal with the conservative media company, the Daily Wire, and became Chancellor of the newly launched Ralston College. His various lectures and conversations, available mainly on YouTube and podcasts, have gathered millions of views and plays. Number 3. Tucker Carlson for President of the United States. Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson, born May 16, 1969, is an American conservative political commentator and writer who hosted the nightly political talk show Tucker Carlson Tonight on Fox News from 2016 to 2023. Since his contract with Fox News was terminated, he has hosted Tucker on X and The Tucker Carlson Show. An advocate of President-elect Donald Trump, Carlson has been described as perhaps the highest-profile proponent of Trumpism, the most influential voice in right-wing media, without a close second, and a leading voice of white grievance politics. Carlson began his media career in the 1990s, writing for the Weekly Standard and other publications. He was a CNN commentator from 2000 to 2005 and a co-host of Crossfire, the network's prime-time news debate program from 2001 to 2005. From 2005 to 2008, he hosted the nightly program Tucker on MSNBC. In 2009, he became a political analyst for Fox News, appearing on various programs before launching his own show. In 2010, Carlson co-founded and served as the initial editor-in-chief of the right-wing news and opinion website, The Daily Caller, until selling his ownership stake and leaving in 2020. He has written 3 books: Politicians, Partisans and Parasites in 2003, Ship of Fools in 2018, and The Long Slide in 2021. He has promoted conspiracy theories on topics such as demographic replacement, COVID-19, the January 6th United States Capitol attack, and Ukrainian bioweapons, and has been noted for false and misleading statements about these and other topics. In April 2023, Fox News dismissed Carlson and cancelled his show without any explanation. Tucker Carlson Tonight had at that point been one of the most watched cable news shows in the country. In 2004, he renounced his initial support for the Iraq War and has since been skeptical of US foreign interventions. He was said to have influenced some of Trump's decisions as president, including the cancellation of a military strike against Iran in 2019, the dismissal of John Bolton as National Security Advisor the same year, and the commutation of Roger Stone's prison sentence in 2020, and would criticize Trump when he believed he was straying from Trumpism. In February 2024, he became the first Western journalist to interview Putin since the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. During the trucker convoy in Ottawa, Tucker was a firm supporter, giving him the nickname of Trucker Carlson. He reported actual happenings instead of what the legacy media in Canada was reporting. Note, most media in Canada are bought and paid for by Prime Minister Trudeau, so they towed the line for him and dared not report something that would make him or his party look bad for fear of losing all the bribe money, $1.2 billion for the CBC alone. Number 4, Kevin O'Leary for Prime Minister of Canada. Terence Thomas Kevin O'Leary, born July 9, 1954, sometimes called Mr. Wonderful, is a Canadian politician and businessman, investor, journalist, author, and television personality. From 2004 to 2014, he appeared on various Canadian television shows, including the business news programs Squeeze Play and the Lang and O'Leary Exchange, as well as the Canadian reality television shows Dragon's Den and Redemption Inc. In 2008, he appeared on Discovery Channel's Project Earth. Since 2009, he's appeared on Shark Tank, the American version of Dragon's Den. O'Leary co-founded SoftKey Software Products, a technology company that sold software geared toward family education and entertainment. During the late 1980s and 1990s, SoftKey became a major consolidator in the global educational software market, having acquired rival companies via hostile takeover bids, such as Compton's New Media, The Learning Company, and Broderbund. SoftKey later changed its name to The Learning Company and was acquired by Mattel in 1999, with the sale making O'Leary a multimillionaire. Mattel then fired him after the acquisition, which resulted in significant losses and multiple shareholder lawsuits. In 2017, he campaigned to be the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. He was a front-runner in the polls during much of that time, but dropped out in April 2017, 1 month before the election, citing a lack of support in Quebec. Number 5, Don Cherry for Canadian Prime Minister. Donald Stewart Cherry, born February 5, 1934, is a Canadian former ice hockey player, coach and television commentator. He played 1 game in the National Hockey League with the Boston Bruins and later coached the team for 5 seasons after concluding a playing career in the American Hockey League, leading the team to 4 division titles and 2 appearances in the Stanley Cup Finals. From 1986 to 2019, Cherry co-hosted Coach's Corner, a segment aired during CBC's Saturday night NHL broadcast Hockey Night in Canada with Ron MacLean. Nicknamed Grapes, he is known for his outspoken manner and opinions, and his flamboyant dress. By the 2018-19 NHL season, Cherry and MacLean had hosted Coach's Corner for 33 seasons. From 1984 to 2019, Cherry hosted Grapevine, a short-form radio segment with fellow sportscaster Brian Williams. He created and starred in the direct-to-video series Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em Hockey from 1989 to 2018. In 2004, Cherry was voted by viewers as the 7th greatest Canadian of all time in the CBC miniseries The Greatest Canadian. In March 2010, his life was dramatized in a 2-part CBC movie, Keep Your Head Up Kid, the Don Cherry story, based on a script written by his son, Timothy Cherry. In March 2012, CBC aired a sequel, The Wrath of Grapes, the Don Cherry Story 2. In November 2019, Cherry was fired by Sportsnet from Hockey Night in Canada for making racist comments about Canadian immigrants during his show. Albeit 2 simple words, "you people," not referring to any one race or creed, the woke still had him fired, A stupid and senseless decision by the CBC and Sportsnet. He is 90 years old, but I believe he could still do the job. Well, what do you think? Subscribe, comment below, hit the like button and share with your friends for a chance to win swag, t-shirts and even silver coins. Stay focused. The world is in our hands.